Hey everyone, I have got a great little drill for you to use today, something which can help you hit your next green. Now this is a drill that I found while searching through the archives. Yes, I went back and I read a book, but it's also inspired by something that I saw at the Open and something which so many of the very best players in the world were doing on a regular occasion. And it's something that you guys can do as well. So to elucidate this point, I'm actually going to turn the simulator off. Now if you're lucky enough to have a simulator like we do here, then this is a perfect like for like drill that you can use. But also you can use the example of the pros that I saw at the Open. Now what the pros at the Open were doing is as they were striking their shots, to make sure that that initial start line was exactly where they wanted it to be, they were putting an alignment stick about 15 to 20 yards in front of them and just trying to make sure that the ball started out over it. Now I've been reading Ian Woosnam's autobiography, which is a great book. If you've not read that, please check it out. But when he was practicing as a kid, he had a pretty unusual method. So he had a barn and he went into the barn where he was hitting golf balls. And at the far end of the barn, he hung up a frying pan. And all he did day after day was hit balls and try and get it pinging off the frying pan at the end of the barn. And as you can see here, Jacob, with the power of editing, we've got our own little frying pan here. Maybe a wok, or maybe a big green egg. What's your favourite frying pan, Jacob? What do you prefer?
A skillet.
A skillet? Maybe a crock pot. It's an air fryer. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my A-time. I'm actually going to keep the simulator footage running in the background so you can see. I'm very much just going to be focused on hitting this club and trying to get it impacting the tape. Now I've set up like a long line here. So if you imagine that this, it should have stretched out maybe a little bit further, but if you imagine that this is, say, your 5-iron, and then as you go all the way up to the top, this is going to be a wedge. So you can get this set up if you do have an indoor simulator, if you do have a barn, but if you have access to an outside driving range, you can stick an alignment stick. Obviously it's not going to be as big as this, so you can focus on hitting it over the top. So I'm just going to try and get the club face lined up, nice and straight. See if I can impact the line. Oh, I hit the bottom of it. I found it was slightly toey though. Go on then. Go on then. Skip up. Yes. Oh, it's just magic. I think golf had the best thing ever. Ian Woosnam, you're a genius. The reason this is a great drill and something which is fantastic if you are just trying to get more target orientated is because it takes your thoughts, it takes your feelings away from technique and focuses it down to target. Come on, frying pan. Oh, it's to the right. Is that going to miss right the green? It is. Think about it this way. If you're trying to hit a green which is 190 yards away, that's a lot of distance to cover. And you're only aiming a very small club face all the way down to where the hole is. So, if you can reduce the amount of overall length that you have to aim this club face, it becomes a lot more accurate. Oh, you didn't get it, did you? You didn't get it, and that's the best one. Come here, look at this. Can we put this up in the office? And honestly, it turns your practice into a little bit more of a game. You know, people are often asking and trying to understand how they can go to a driving range, they can go to a practice session and actually still be engaged by what they're doing. If you could turn it into a game, if you could turn it into a challenge, then that is by far the best way of actually making it exciting and interesting. So if you can construct that in any type of way, if you're at home, please do. And something else I would like you to do is subscribe to the Swing Quest channel if you haven't already. And how about you check out these videos here to continue your improvement in this wonderful game that we call